What's going on, people? I want to welcome you all to What Does Q Think? Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, let's get into it. YouTube TV. It's been over a week since the carriage fee fights between Disney and Google involving ABC, ESPN, FX, and all Nat Geo and all the other channels. And this is starting to be frustrating to me, especially as a sports fan. You know, a lot of times on this show, I discuss things regarding the angle of live TV because as much as I love being able to visit Netflix and Prime and other places for their exclusive shows, nothing beats live TV for me. I'm still old school. I was born in 1971, so I kind of like things done the old-fashioned way a little bit. But so when I go into YouTube TV now, of course, I'm missing my ESPN channels. A lot of people are like, well, what's the big deal? You know, you can always get the ESPN app in the meantime to watch the games. All right. And that's true, but it still takes away from the viewing experience. And what I mean by that is on a Saturday, I used to be able to flip back and forth between channels. You know, maybe I want to watch the Big Ten network and watch a Big Ten game to see Michigan play or something, since I'm a Michigan fan. Or maybe I want to flip over to another game to watch. And it was fairly simple to do. Basically, all I would do is hold the button on my remote control and go back and forth between games. But now I can't do that because everything is done via two different apps because ESPN is no longer included in my package. So now I have to go out to ESPN, go into ESPN and bring up a game here. And so now I'm going in between apps as opposed to being able to just go between channels. And that is so frustrating as a sports viewer because part of the joy of watching college football on Saturday is going from game to game. And now I can't do that unless I'm doing it, only looking at games in the network of ESPN or in the network of what's left on YouTube, which is, like Big Ten, the Fox channels and CBS channels and things of that nature, NBC. And so I don't like how sports and live TV in general has become disjointed. Okay, there's no more true channel surfing. There's no more flipping back and forth. I used to be able to just flip channels and come across a game, where it's late in the fourth quarter, the game is tight. I may not care about either team, but it looks like a good game. All of that is a lot more difficult to come by because of how this fee fight that's been going on for over a week is impacting things. And we all know ultimately you're going to have an individual app to watch, to watch certain games. And that's also frustrating because right now as an NFL fan, I watch games on YouTube TV, Prime, and then you have the games that are on ESPN now that I have to go to the ESPN app in order to access. Later in the year, I'm going to have to watch a game on Netflix. And the playoff games, I'm going to have Peacock. And it's super frustrating. Like, my dad has always been a sports fan. My dad is in his 80s. He doesn't really watch, he doesn't follow it anymore. He'll watch a game when it comes on ABC, Monday Night Football game or something like that. But he doesn't do all the smart TV things. He doesn't know how to do all that stuff. So he's basically been excluded from being able to watch sports the way he once did. Okay, and there are a lot of people who are like that, not necessarily in their 80s either, who are just frustrated with having to try to find what they're looking for and then hope that it's something that falls under their subscription. And I know it's not going to change. I know that rather than trying to provide us with the best service, they're only trying to provide themselves with the biggest profit margin. And all of this is kind of like a trickle-down effect. When you look at, let's say, the NBA players, which I like the NBA. I don't like it as much as I used to, but I still watch the NBA. And their players are overpaid. I'm sorry. Their players are way overpaid. But because the players are overpaid, Now the NBA is like, well, I got to charge ESPN and TNT or whoever is affiliated with them, Amazon Prime. I got to charge them more money to be able to afford to pay the players and the owners. And then it's like a trickle down effect and everything goes up. And not only are you paying higher ticket prices to go to a game, it costs even more to watch a game from home. And that is absolutely ridiculous. If you don't live in the market of your favorite team, then you're basically trying to figure out how much to pay in order to see that team. And if you're like me, someone who's just a fan of a sport in general, I may not necessarily have a favorite team, then just trying to watch the good games in general becomes very problematic. And I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir on some of this. I know I also sound like that old man, get off my lawn type of guy. And that's really not where I'm trying to come off at. Well, I don't know. Maybe I am. But the point I'm trying to make is that it gets to a point to where you're going to turn people off. It's going to happen. The other night, there was a horrible game, the Broncos and the Raiders played Thursday Night Football on Prime. And it was a fairly boring game. I love defense, but this game was it wasn't necessarily defense. It was just bad offense. And I went to sleep. In the third quarter, I turned the TV off and I went to sleep because watching it on Prime, it didn't give me the ability to flip channels to see what else was going on, to keep me stimulated. So I sat here, I fell asleep at halftime. I was sleeping in the third quarter and I just turned the game off. And it's gotten to that point, me as a huge sports fan, having these issues. And so just wanted to bring this video to you to really just kind of vent and kind of rant. And I can do that with you all because you all are my people. And let me know how you feel. Let me know if you're frustrated with what's going on with not just the fee fight, and which will ultimately lead to YouTube having to charge more money. But let me know who you think the actual villain is. Is it Disney? Are they the problem? Is it Google trying to ask too much of Disney as far as, what they want from them? And is it the sports leagues in general? Because we all know sports is what's driving this thing up. It's really not anything else.